Good morning, everyone. I have already created first parts of video of blogging mini project. In first part of video, I give the explanation of authors models, blog models, and creates authors and creates blogs. This is the second part of video. If you will not see the first part of video, then check the descriptions. In descriptions, I mentions all links and parts of video previous and next. So I go to next. In first parts, I create authors, post blogs. In these parts, I see the gets blogs. Returns all the blog in the collections is not deleted. Means if blog is not deleted is false, then and publish is true, then show the blog. If a status is successful, then show the status code is 200. If the document is not found, then show the status code 404. In getting the blogs, we have some filters like this: by authors ID, by categories. List of blogs have a specific tags, means tag ID and subcategory. So I go to blog controller. I create the handler part of get the blog. Here in try, I mentions the if successful response, so the status code is 200, and in catch I mentions 500. But here is so a status code is no documents found. A status code is 404. So I correct this attested code. No, this is correct. No problem. If not found the block, then a status code is so 404. If either show, then show 500. Okay, no problems. All is correct. Here you use the instructions. Create constants, authors ID, categories, tags, and subcategory. In these variables, we take the value from request.query. Request.query dots author ID. A value is put in author ID. Category value is put in category. Here we add constant filters. If is deleted false and is is published true. If author ID is if request dot query dot author ID, then in authors key store the variables. Then if author ID gets, then filters dot author id is equal to author id, and in filters we adds the key and value filter dot author id is equal to author id. If category gets then category value is category in tag date to filter dot tags dot here in use ins dollars ins tag dot splits tags. If subcategory gets then filter dot subcategory, then create a constant blocks dot blocks dot finds int finds all validations, all filters are here. If all filters are in finds, then all conditions are successful, then find the data documents, otherwise not show the documents. If blocks dot length is equal to 0, then we show the status code 404, status false, and message no blocks found. If block is successful, get then a status code show 200. If any error show, then a status code 500 and error message. I go to Postman tools. Here I hit this API. If no query is added, then see the all documents. Here we see all document is in result, is deleted false and is published true. Here we also see the published times, published at times is. I add to query if authors id add in query params, then this author id we get all the documents. 31cc, next document is 31cc, 31cc. If I category added and tags, if all query added, then only see only once documents. If I enter the correct incorrect author id, what see in results, successful result are getting 200, and I see the if author id is not correct, A status false and message no block found. A status code 404 means all validations are works properly. Next step is puts blocks slash colons blocks adding in variables names in params block adding is updated a blocks by changing its titles body adding tags adding a subcategory. Assuming tags subcategory received in the body is needed to be addressed, add a block by changing its public status. Check the block ID is exist or not. If not exist, then the status code. So 400 force. If successful response, then a status code is 200. Also make sure the response you returns updated blocks. I go to block controllers. Handler part is right here. In try blocks, if successful response are get, then a status code is 200. If any error show, then a status code is 400. If not blocks are found, then a status code is so 404. If invalid block ID, then a status code is so 400. First, create a constant block variables block ID. In block ID, request.params.blocks ID. I check the block ID is valid or not. Mongoose dot is valid object ID block ID. If it is valid, then move to the next code. If it is not if block ID is not valid, then show the error message at a status code 400 and error message is invalid block ID. If block ID is valid, then move to the next steps. Comes request.body. I get the value in titles request.body.titles in titles and request.body.body in body and same as tag and subcategory. If the block exists and is deleted, not deleted. Check finds once ID block ID and in block ID I find block ID and is deleted false. If block ID is not exist, then show the status code 404 blocks not found. If block not found, then show the block not found. If block is found, then move to the next steps. In block dot titles, if in body I get the value in titles from here, then put block dot titles in is to titles. If not gets, then block dot titles previous value is same. Here we use or operators. In tags, if tag dot length is greater than t0, the block dot tag dot push a split operator of tags. In subcategory, I same work here. Here we update, then I add block dot publish each publish true and block dot publish it at new dates. When update, then show the is key. Constant updated block is equal to wait block dot shapes. All value are all key and value are get in blocks. Then we save the blocks in database. If successful response, then show the status code 200. If any errors, then show the 400. After exporting the modules.export updated blocks in routers, I write the router here. Router.ports block slash colons block id block controllers dot update blocks. I move to Postman's tools. Here in params, in param variables, I take the block id. Block id this ins body. I mentions titles. I change some years. I hit this API. Successful response are get at a status code 200. Message block updated and titles. I updated titles. I am updated successful. Here I add tag some tag here science or social science. Here I added science and social science and is deleted false and is published true and published times is so here. I check the if block ID is incorrect what the error message so. Error message is so at a status code 404, a status false and block not found. In next video, I see the deletes blocks. Thanks for watching this video. Next part, next video of this project is video link mentions in description. Please check the description to see the previous and next video.